Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22. We're using Alvaro Bautista on his Ducati Panigale V4R right here in the magnificent Italian circuit of the San Marino Grand Prix. It is Misano. So into, oh goodness me, a big contact there with Loris Baz, who had a fantastic start, much better start than we did from second position, but up into the inside of Johnny Ray now, a little bit aggressive there from the course. Two riders have got a fierce rivalry going on in real life right now, but going into turn 5 and the change of direction into turn 6 should have some good speed to pick up some additional slipstream here with Toprak Razgatioglu leading the Grand Prix for now. We're going to brake as firm as we possibly can here in race 2 and hopefully close in into Quercia. So now from the left hand side we're going to bring on the power and get ready to brake quite early for Tramonto. We don't want to be braking too late because you can make a real mess if you go a little bit too wide. But I like the way we've gone wider, bring it in tight for Tramonto, bring on the power. We're going to be neck and neck, it's alongside each other. We should have certainly have the speed with the Ducati, and the AI sometimes just drops off a little bit in the sense of speed. But my goodness, I cannot express to you, stay off the curbs here in Misano. They are absolutely lethal. Unbelievably lethal. It took me so many attempts to do this video just for touching a curb and being launched off into oblivion. It was absolutely absurd. I cannot describe it any more than that. The rumble strips in this game are shocking. Absolutely pants. So be careful of that if you are going to be tackling the Grand Prix of San Marino. But across the line we are leading for the first time in this lap. So not too bad, but Toprak behind us, and Johnny right there is Toprak actually showing off his superior braking skills. He's going to get super close to the rear of the Ducati here once again, but it looks like we have held the position. But as I mentioned, it did take me a good couple of attempts to actually record this video after so many crashes. I don't know what it is, but I'm just struggling to get to grips with Superbike 22 in the sense of the braking, the smooth acceleration. Yes, I have swapped over to manual gear, so it is a bit of a change for me, but I don't think it's hindering my progress that much. I'm just trying to recapture the feeling of MotoGP 21, because if you didn't know at this point, Superbike 22 is from the same engine which was MotoGP 21, which is kind of the same game in some regards, but wide into Tramonto, 0.8 of a second is the gap to Toprak, so I don't think he'll be sneaking up on the inside, and he certainly didn't show Alvaro Bautista a wheel at this stage of the Grand Prix. But now to the right hand side into Cavone, the fastest corner in Superbike right now, as we now go into turn 12 and slowly bring on the bike for 13 and get prepared for Caro into turn 14, but a little bit late on the brakes. This is where I'm beginning to struggle. The tighter braking zones where you've got to go quite firm in the brakes, I just have little to no confidence at all with the brakes right now. I'm still spending a lot of time learning, tweaking, and just trying to find what works best for me, because the braking on this one is really driving me mad. I'm still braking like I'm playing MotoGP 22, and it's not the way to get things done. So if you're going to try and learn, remember how you did it in MotoGP 21. Ignore what you did in 22 because things have changed, and I don't know. I'm having a bit of a tough time getting used to the brakes. Oh, there you go right now, right on cue into Rio corner. A little bit too aggressive on the brake. I didn't feel like I pressed the brake too much, but clearly I must have done too much for us to go almost crashing into the corner there like Marquez did many years ago in MotoGP for 2014, I do believe it was. So into Quercia now, sliding the rear in. A little bit more control in those faster, longer braking zones. But those shorter braking zones where you're braking from third or second gear does give me a little bit of trouble. Maybe I'm downshifting too prematurely. I guess I'll have to try and figure it out as this race progresses. But Toprak behind, Johnny Ray in third, Loris Baz in fourth, Axel Bassani, Ika Lecuona, Michael van der Mark on the BMW up in the top 7. Great result from him. And Garrett Gerloff finishing in the top 8, or at least currently in top 8 right now. So into 13, we're 0.2 of a second quicker than the previous lap time, which was a 1:33.549, the second fastest lap of that previous lap. And for now, with the SC1 and the SC0 tyres, it looks like we're doing alright, but I need to pay attention to the right-hand side of that front tyre. It's looking a bit worse for wear at this stage of the Grand Prix. So tackling Misano now and bringing on the power across the line, we do indeed set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It's a 1:33.408 for the Spaniard. as now we are pulling away from Top Rack, and it looks like Top Rack and Johnny are having a bit of a ding-dong of a battle behind, and that's pretty much what we need, because I don't think I've got enough potential to just break away from them. I'm doing my best, but wide into Rio once again. It looks like we did actually try and save it there. It looks like we did actually a good job. It certainly looked a bit misleading. I felt like I was really going to run into the turn 4 there, but it looks like we managed to save it, and I'm quite surprised. I'm still not sure about the braking in this game. I've got to get it right. I promise you, though, I will sort it out, and the gameplay will look smoother and it'll look better, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and if my riding doesn't look good, I'm not a happy man. And to be honest with you, I'm not really happy with my riding in this one as of yet. But the last 2 laps, relatively consistent within the 133s and within a tenth and a little bit of each other. I'm hoping this lap can produce something special as we go into Cavone, and for the first time this Grand Prix, even if it was just temporary, we did breach a second gap to Top Rack Razgatioglu. That's no easy feat, I can assure you, but we did just breach it for a very, very slim moment. So as far as things goes for now, the power setting 3 will remain. I don't know whether I'm going to have to drop it. It does look like it's going to sort of teeter on the edge of potentially getting too low, and also at the same time needing a bit more fuel. So across the line, we will improve our lap time. It's a 1:32.828 for Alvaro. That's a brilliant lap, actually. It's one of the best laps I've done over the weekend, and in race condition where I'm getting pressured from both Top Rack and the 6-time world champion of Johnny Ray, ooh, there's not much you can say apart from a sharp intake of breath inhaled through teeth. So into turn 4, then we're going to be 0.5 of a second away from Top Rack, and I'm beginning to feel a little bit better, but I still feel like I'm on ice, slipping, not braking confidently, and just not really quite there yet. But I do feel like the career mode, when I start those videos, I do feel that's going to be the turning point for me. Spending a lot more time in free practices, warm-ups, super poles, races, you name it, I should gain a lot more confidence and feeling with the bike. So we just got to focus on that, and fingers crossed in the future we can be back to our old selves again like we were in MotoGP 21, and now we currently are in MotoGP 22. So into the fastest part of the track, then into Cavone for turn 11. I still lost a little bit of bottle there. I decided to go for a little bit of front brake, but we're actually still going to be improving the lap time if things stay the same. So this is not too bad at all. Maybe I'm giving myself a hard time here, hitting myself with a metaphorical stick for no reason. Just feel like it doesn't look very smooth. I guess you can let me know in the comment section down below. Does the gameplay look smooth to you? Does it look like I've done a good job racing in this one? Or do you think I've got a lot of work to do? I know there's a couple of corners for me as we now improve the lap time once again. A 1:32.742 on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. It's coming together. It's finally coming together, but I really need to pay attention to the fuel. Take a look at the bottom right corner of your screen there, guys. Plus 0.1. If that goes to 0.0, is a big mistake into Rio there, almost losing the front and getting a little bit out of shape with the endo there. The endo seem to come out of nowhere when you're in those slower gears. It's a bit of a strange one. I've got to figure it out though, and I promise I'll get it all figured out, and I'll do you an update for the braking guide for this game. But now into Quercia, braking quite nicely there for turn 8. Nice upshift up into second gear there, just to make sure we don't spin up the rear in the first gear, because it can be done if you're not careful. But into Tramonto for the final time of asking. It looks like we should have the job done here, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this now. Feeling pretty proud. It was a doom and gloom affair before I recorded this one, and I'm glad I finally got it sorted now. And I didn't even mention the difficulty of the AI. I'm actually using the hardest difficulty. So finally, looks like we're going to be on top against the tough AI, because I will not lie, the AI in this game are bloody tough in certain tracks. So I'm doing everything I can right now, and it looks like we should have the job done. Not as quick as the previous lap, but I'm still quite confident in our abilities. But braking now into Misano, a corner that's caught me off so many times. But into 16, to the left, Top Rack, oh, goodness me. I thought Top Rack was going to go for a lunge and a half. But thankfully, we get across the line and we win for the very first time here in Misano and Superbike 22. So guys, those are the top 16 riders on the list. Of course, point scoring finishes, and of course, most importantly, we did win the race with Alvaro Bautista. But guys, If you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comment section down below. If you really enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Keep an eye out for career mode coming very, very soon. Ciao for now. Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.